Good afternoon, everybody. My name is A Weapons, Mid-Lyfe Music. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Go to ldbcsports.com, register, make a profile, interact with the brothers and sisters of the LDBC. Also, go to shopfightfan.com where you can purchase LDBC merch. Lastly, my second home Ticket TV Media is down due to the pandemic, but as soon as we're back up, you can purchase LDBC merch, A Weapons merch, and Ticket TV merch. For the time being, though, you can purchase my music. All you have to do is either go to this channel or you can go to my Mid-Lyfe Music channel, and you can buy one song for $1. That's on Gang. You can buy It Doesn't Matter for $1. You can buy both songs for $2. You can buy all my songs, all of my commercials for $5. My pony campaign is $5. If you choose to get the Big Bang package, which is to donate to my pony campaign and get all the songs, commercials, and parodies, that's $10. Remember, people, if you're going to buy any music, you have to send me a valid email address so that I can send it to you. Otherwise, I'm not going to know who to send it to. Cash App is $AWeapons357, and my PayPal is paypal.me/AWeapons. This is going to be like a little inspirational thing. Never ask yourself, what if? Okay? And I'm living proof of that. I've been doing music since I can remember, probably 4 or 5 years old. Picked up my first instrument, 8 years old. Picked up the next instrument, 10 years old. Picked up my other instruments that I learned to play back and forth, 13 years old. Played music from kindergarten all the way through college. I've played instruments. So this is something that I've been doing forever. Tried to get into the music business when I was 16. I was fresh out of church, and they were like, "Well, no, it's a little too gospel," because they were looking for like that smooth singing, that sweet love, come back to me. They wanted that. They didn't want what I had at that time. And so I kind of left music alone and everything for a little while. I was still doing what I was doing, but I kind of left, like the record career thing. I left that alone for a while. And then finally I listened to a single that Father MC had on Video Music Box. That's a New York station, y'all. And I heard Father MC song, Treat Them Like They Want to Be Treated. And I said, well, wait, they sound familiar. And sure enough, the Haley brothers was on there, Casey and JoJo. I was like, oh shit. So that's when I decided to take it serious and get back into music. So at first I was in a group called Trans. It was me and my man Drew. Drew crazy as a fuck. Shout out to my man Drew. That's my dog though. Crazy. But you know what I'm saying? He had that falsetto voice. And then that dissolved. And then I heard about this guy around my block named Percy, because we had a mutual friend, Sean. So Sean introduced us. I mean, I'd known him from around the block, and he went to my high school. And as we started talking, you know what I'm saying? He was like, well, I produce music and I do this and do this. And I said, well, I kind of do music too. But like back then, I used to be on the corner drinking 40s with the crew and shit like that. So he just really didn't know what I had. And so one day, my man Sean and a dude from the block, Jerome, had came around, and Percy was like, he had like the little, like the what you call those again? What do you just call that? A blazer. He had a blazer on, and he was with this girl, and Sean said, yeah. So you said you can out sing, you say you can out sing, huh? And so Rome was like, man, this ain't gonna even be fair. So I looked around and I heard him sing a little something, and he had that little Ralph Tresvant voice and everything. I was like, okay. So then I sang, it wasn't even fair. And I guess he just looking was like, oh shit. And then he kind of limited himself to be a producer. So he had like this little keyboard in his house. And so he was playing like little, I said, P, don't you know how to play anything? So he was like, what, you can play? I said, move over. And I started playing. He was like, God damn. He said, man, is there anything that you cannot do? But now what P could do that I could not do at that time was write. He wrote some damn good songs. The only thing that I basically did a lot with his music was structure it, into a song format. But as far as like just the ideas that he had, dope. And I'm saying, I taught him some chords here and there on the piano and stuff. So like, you can get your basic idea of a song, because you really don't need anything extravagant as far as doing a good song. You just need to just have the basics there. So as time went along, you know what I'm saying, we started making some real good songs, and we had formed a group, and it was 6 of us at one time. It was me, KC, Bruce, Sean, Percy, and Gerard. And we called ourselves Chapter 4. Percy came up with that name, actually. So then after that, it went down to, because Gerard just couldn't sing. So it was just us 5. But we still called ourselves Chapter 4. Bruce kind of fell by the wayside. And Bruce was a decent singer, too. So it was just me, KC, Sean, and Percy. Casey and Percy was always arguing. So KC had left. And this ain't Casey from Jodeci, y'all. This is a different KC. KC had left. And then Percy Percy was still there for a little while. So then we ran into this kid, Juan, on our block. Now, I didn't even know that Juan had this much talent. Shocked the shit out of me. I'm like, yo, this dude is a better piano player and a better singer than I will ever be. That's how good he is. And so we had that group. Percy had went off and quote the cliche, joined the circus. Literally. So it was just us 3. And then P came back. And then that was the lineup for a while. Eventually that broke up. I'm not gonna go into why, but it broke up. And it wasn't a good reason either. It was stupid. But I said, okay, well look, let me just produce for people. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time I still wasn't a real good writer. Once I broke up with my ex, I became an excellent writer. God damn. I mean, shit just pouring out. You could reach for the love. You could reach for the satisfaction. You could reach for the anger. You could reach for the hate. It was all there once I broke up. It was all there. And you could actually put yourself in that position. Like before, I would write a song here and there, and it would sound okay. But once that happened, I was a hell of a writer. So at that point, you know what I'm saying? Everybody broke up. So I said, let me just produce. And some little kids, around the block and everything could rap their ass off. So I'm like, well, listen, y'all come on in. I'll make some music for y'all. And that started off Russian Roulette. And that started off the Dose. Well, the real name was Blood Dose. But I was like, well, I kind of don't want any affiliation. So I said, just call yourself the Dose. So that started out. And I was also producing for other people. For some people would actually bring in tracks that I would sing on. And you know what I'm saying? It went from that direction. With my rap groups, they couldn't stay out of jail. So I had to kind of abandon that situation. But I was still producing. And then from 2007 to 2016, I had did a couple of songs, but there was a lot of personal issues that I had, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't really do any music at that time because it's all associated. Like the way I feel about things, right, will dictate how I do, as far as my music. It's all associated. So once I don't have peace of mind, it is hard for me to do music. It's almost damn impossible for me to do music. So 2016 happened and we were on strike. You know what I'm saying? The phone company went on strike. So I was like, you know what? Let me learn how to use this Pro Tools shit. Because I had never used it. I had had it like about 3 or 4 years, but I never opened it. So I finally opened it, installed it, watched a couple of tutorials on YouTube. 3 days, got it. So I started recording a little something. I recorded a song for Shannon Briggs' ring entry, but he got popped. So that was that. And then I did another song that I wanted to do for Verizon. It's called We're the Best. And I'll put that up. And then I changed it to a Jay-Z thing once he had started Rock Nation. But it's still on the computer, but I've never done anything with it. So then I met Blood Boxing during that time. And we were talking and back and forth. And he was like, yo, if you doing music and everything, you need promotion. You need to talk to 78. So at that point, I started talking to 78. And it kind of put a battery in my back and said, look, you didn't meet this brother for no reason. You need to go ahead and get that started. And you need to get back into music and do what you're supposed to do. So I had made a couple of parodies, but I still wasn't convinced into going full-fledged into doing songs. But then a guy that was in the group in the early 90s, M.R. Ward, I ran into him and he had a hit record. Now, for all I am, right? For all I can do, you have to just basically take your ego and put that shit in your back pocket because that song is a hit. You made some good music, but that is a hit. So we tried to promote that song. Things went wrong. I'm not going to go into any details, but things went wrong. And so I decided, okay, well, let me just actually put my face and my voice as Mid-Lyfe Music, because the original plan was to have M.R. War be the face and the sound of Mid-Lyfe Music. And the only thing that I was going to do was bring in other artists. Yes, I was going to do a couple of songs here and there because it's what I do. But I didn't want to really put songs out anymore. I didn't really want to sing anymore. I just basically wanted M.R. War to do the work, and then I could bring in other artists. But like I said, it just didn't work out. And maybe this is God's plan saying, look, you're going to be the first 52, 53-year-old that's going to get a record deal, as a new artist. So I was like, fuck it. Might as well just go ahead and just get it done. So the point of this discussion is basically never say to yourself, what if? I could have given up on this a long time ago. I could have had the picket fence, the beautiful wife, the kids, a decent job, because I got a good job now. I could have saved all my money. I could have done a lot of things. But I would have never been happy because there was an itch that I had to scratch. I would have never been happy. Because I didn't do what I wanted to do. I didn't do what God put me here to do. So you always have to say to yourself, I'm not going to say what if. Okay? You have to say that to yourself. I'm not going to say what if. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't sit there and put all your money into something that you are not 100% sure about. You don't do that either. That's stupid. That's not daring or bold or anything. That's just being foolish. What you do is that if you plan first, because look, you're going to fail. I'm proof of that. You're going to fail. But the sin is not to even try. That's the sin. If you don't even try. So what you have to do is you take something and put that to the side for what you're working on. But at the same time, you have this here to take care of your bills and other things like that, because you know what I'm saying, you're going to still have to, live regular life. You know what I'm saying? You're not a millionaire yet. So you need to put something aside just in case you do fail. But you put something aside for to do your work. And that's what I'm doing now. And that's why I'm also coming to the LDBC as far as the pony campaign, is because to design a sneaker of the specs that I want, how I want it, and everything else, it's going to be a huge undertaking, because at the end of the day, I want to actually have that sneaker and present it to the pony people so they can say, oh, okay, we know exactly how to make that sneaker. And then they can just make that sneaker and then mass produce it. And we can all get some money from it. I'll make an LDBC line. I'll make my own brand. Because, basically right now, what I want to do is just present that sneaker to Pony to present to NBA players. To some of the WNBA teams. Division II college basketball teams. Division III college basketball teams. I want to present that to them. So that can get the momentum started. And then once they see that people do prefer that, that brand and that look and that feel for that sneaker, then I can say, well, look, I have my own line that I want to put out. And then you can put out your own line. And then from there, I can bring the LDBC in and put out an LDBC line. Whether it's Blue Blood, whether it's Best, whether it's Blood Boxing, whether it's 7-8, whether it's Black Fight Fan, Town Business, Ticket, whoever. We can just put it out there at that point. So that's my plan. And you never go around saying, what if? Because if you say what if, you are basically telling yourself that you are going to fail. If it's something that you really believe in and something that you know that can happen, you push the program. You push your agenda. Like with Mid-Lyfe Music, I know it can work because there are a lot of people that are just like me who don't want to listen to most of that new music out there. We want our music. We want our sound. So that's why I'm making this label, because I want that old school feel. With the pony sneakers, same thing. We want an OG line. We don't want the pastels and the shiny stuff on our sneakers. We want our sneakers to look just like, you can wear them with a pair of Dockers, you can wear casual, and you can wear them like, athletic style. I want that. And so that's what I'm pushing for. And I also want to just run my label the way I want to. No, I don't want to do 1,000 shows as an artist. I'm too old for that. But I can do a couple of shows here and there. And I can always put out music because I still enjoy singing. I don't like tours. I like to perform. I love to do music though. I do not like touring at all. Can't stand it. Even back then I hated it. So never say what if. You know what I'm saying? Never say what if. It's never too late to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Just plan it though. Don't do anything stupid. Plan it. But once you plan it, see it through. And I've been trying to see this through for years. For decades. Maybe I should have quit, but I just didn't see it that way. I knew that it was going to come at another time because maybe God said, look, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Anderson, let me say this to you, bro. I'm not going to put you out there in your 20s. You got a bad temper. You're going to have sex with every girl that you see. You're not going to have any type of agreement with all these other people around you. You're going to be getting into fights, all kind of dumb shit. I'm going to hold you off for a while. Got my 30s. Same thing. Hold up. You still a little strong. So nah. So I guess the Lord was like, okay, you in your 50s right now. You're not looking for problems or none of that. You're not looking for little young girls to have sex with. Okay, cool. Now you can have it. And I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Because I just want to just continually make music. I don't feel that time is running out, even though it is. But never quit, young people. You know what I'm saying? Never quit. Never say what if to my older people. Never say what if. If it's something that you want to do, go out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? You never want to be too old and you sit there and say, damn, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, I could have done something. I could have made this. I could have done that. Never do that. Always see something through. If you're working on something, see it through. If it doesn't look like it's going to work, tweak your plan. And that's what you basically have to do, because with Mid-Lyfe Music, I'm like, okay, this might work, but let me try something else, because it was side to side. Let me try something else. And so that's why I'm trying the pony campaign. So just in case this Mid-Lyfe Music thing isn't going the way that I want it, the other thing will. Shout out to the almighty LDBC, LDBCsports.com, shopfightfan.com, ticketvmedia.com. And again, people, if you are purchasing any music, please leave a valid return email address, because without it, I won't know who to send it to. $AWeapons357 is the Cash App, and PayPal.me/AWeapons is my PayPal address. Peace.